All right. Awesome. Good. We're live. Okay. Welcome to another Living Room Session live stream. This one being called Tea and Fairytales, a Living Room Session live stream. And I don't know, maybe I'll keep it. Let me know what you think. I'm thinking about if I do keep it, I will call it, I don't know, maybe Tea and History, a Living Room Session, Tea and Fairytales and History, a Living Room Sessions live stream. Let me know what you think of that. But I was thinking of maybe keeping that name. I was going to only call it that for this particular show, this particular episode. But I thought, you know what? Hey, maybe I'll keep that title. But yeah, let me know what you think. What do you think of me keeping the name Tea and Fairytales, or Tea and History and Fairytales, a Living Room Sessions live stream? So yeah, let me know. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me this evening. I am really excited to be doing this particular episode for you because it's going to be one of my original songs. For the first one, we did the song Crazy Man Michael by the very awesome band Fairport Convention. And yeah, it was, I enjoyed performing it for you. That's a song that I do love performing. And it was the inaugural song when I first started up the Living Room Sessions a few years ago. I did it pre-recorded. So I figured, hey, why not do that song as the first Living Room Sessions live stream? But tonight we'll be doing an original song that I wrote and that I currently have released. But before I do that, I do like to give a couple of really cool small businesses some shout outs. So this one, I love candles. So I am burning this one this evening, and this candle is actually run by, it's made by a friend of mine. Her name is Jessica, and she runs the website sagingspace.com. It is a very cool place if you enjoy things like crystals and herbs, and of course hand poured candles. This, I believe here I have, okay, so this one is called Moonlit Snow, and I decided to use this one simply for the fact that it kind of goes with the song that I'm going to be doing for you this evening. So it's a soy intention candle, and what that means is that you burn it while, setting an intention, setting maybe a goal, whatever you wish to accomplish. And it's said that firelight is very powerful. So yeah, so that's what this is. And I don't know how well you can see that, but there are little crystals within the wax too. And yeah, it's all organic product, which is what I like as well. And that's sagingspace.com. They sell all sorts of good stuff. I have taught a couple of yoga classes within their brick and mortar location. The brick and mortar location is no more. She's focusing on basically online sales and doing in-person shows and everything. But she seems to be doing very well with it. And yeah, so this is the candle that we're burning for this evening, and I intend for this to be a wonderful, memorable evening for you. So yes, that's the candle I'm burning this evening. And then I probably should put this down before I'm moving some stuff around in here, so I don't have my usual table with me, which makes things a lot easier to pick up and put down. So just bear with me here. But kind of doing a little remodeling in my apartment. But this is a really good tea. It's by a really cool historical cosmetics company called LBCC LBCC Apothecary. I've bought from them quite a few times, and this is their Emily Bronte tea. And I know that they switch out their products and their teas, so I'm not sure if they have this particular tea at the moment, but if they do and you happen to catch it, it's really, really good. It's a green tea with cinnamon, dried orange, ginger, apple, hibiscus, and calendula. So yeah, so that's what this is. And I'm drinking this out of my St. Luke's mug from Mythology Candles. So yeah, so tell me what you're drinking. You know, definitely let me know in the comments. I'm just taking a little sip there. And yeah, so speaking of St. Luke's, I also have a couple of announcements. A few gigs. I played some really, really fun gigs this last summer and this past summer. And the last one for the summer was Fort Henry Days, Labor Day weekend. And now I'm getting ready for a couple more gigs. So I'm performing with Wayward Companions this Friday for the Bradford House's Whiskey Rebellion fundraising dinner, and then the following morning on Friday I am performing at Old St. Luke's Church for the dedication of the Daniel South monument. Unfortunately, neither of those are, you know, public per se. However, that does what that does mean is that I can also maybe do like little behind the scenes videos and photos like in my stories, or do like, you know, I'll let you in somehow, even if it's virtually. But yeah, but those aren't necessarily, I guess, like public in the sense to where, you know, it's a festival, you could show up. The Bradford House Whiskey Rebellion one, it's one of those fundraisers where you purchase, it's, you know, you purchase like, it's like $200 per plate or something like that. I don't know if this Bradford House one is that expensive, but I do know it's definitely sold out. And then the Old St. Luke's one on Saturday, where I'm performing the song Amazing Grace at the dedication of the Daniel South monument. That's a VIP only event. So, like I said, it's not public in the way that, say, my other gigs are, but I might do like little behind the scenes stuff to still kind of take you into what we're doing on those days. And it's a two-day weekend gig. So, you know, hey, why not? I'll probably do something special like that for you. And then after that, I am going to be performing with Wayward Companions at Heartwood Acres Highlander Happenings, which is an Outlander themed event, which is a lot of fun. That's going to be October 7th at 11 a.m. And then I'm also performing at the North Versailles Public Library on October 13th. It's a show being put on by Chuck Austin, and he is getting a few musicians just, you know, to perform on the bill. And then I know that's October, and I'm also October 21st, 22nd. It's the Saturday of the weekend of the 21st, 22nd. I'm telling a ghost story at the Depreciation Lands Museum Lantern Tours. And yeah, and then Braddock's Battlefield with Wayward Companions in the first weekend of November, and then performing with Celtic Spirit on December 9th for the DAR. That's also a private event. But I'll let you know when I'm doing another gig. So all right, that's open to the public, but at least a couple of those are open to the public that I just announced. So okay, so now on to the song Lullaby. All right, so Lullaby, and there's a reason why, like I said, I decided to call this Tea and Fairytales, because the song Lullaby is inspired by just that, fairy tales. So the song first came into being, or at least a form of it did, when I wrote this little song. It was just kind of a very short piece that I titled Snowflakes, and it went a little something like. It was just that little riff, and I just started playing it, and it did kind of remind me of snowflakes, snow falling. So that was kind of the working title of the song, and I had intended to use it for something, but of course I didn't know what. So I was trying, so I kept that little riff, that little piece in mind, very simple piece. And, and like I said, I was, maybe trying to find, just where exactly I would use it. And I was revisiting, actually, just one night randomly, I was revisiting some old fairy tales that I used to really enjoy growing up, and I still enjoy into my adulthood. I still enjoy these fairy tales. And when I came across two particular ones by the author Hans Christian Andersen. And Hans Christian Andersen wrote many tales in his day. Two particular ones were The Little Mermaid and The Match Girl that really stayed with me. And of course, I grew up with the Disney version of The Little Mermaid. Absolutely, I loved that movie. And I've always loved anything that had to do with the sea, the ocean, mythical sea creatures. In fact, one of these live streams, I need to show you this poem that I wrote in 5th grade about a Viking sea adventure. I actually do still have it. In fact, my mom gave it to me a couple years ago because she found it among some of my old stuff from my childhood. So I think one of these live streams, I am definitely going to read it to you. I didn't think to do it this time. Sorry about that. But next time I will. But yeah, I've always had a fascination with anything that had to do with the sea, the ocean. So, Little Mermaid was kind of a win for me in that sense in the beginning. And then I remember when I was a kid seeing like a cartoon version of the story of, it's like The Little Match Girl. And that story kind of stayed with me as a kid. And then I just found myself just one day revisiting those. And it's interesting because you love these stories as a child, you love kind of like the Disneyized versions of them. But then later on, when you go looking into them, when you're older, you go like looking back to revisit these stories, you don't really realize as a kid just how just kind of dark the original stories are. And because a lot of those, and I'd love to hear like what's your favorite fairy tale. Definitely drop those in the comments too. If you have a favorite fairy tale, I'd love to hear it and know like which what stories had a big impact on you as a kid. But I was revisiting those stories, and then I just and then you kind of really, and that's the thing when you're revisiting those stories and you're like, wow, these are actually quite dark. Some of these fairy tales, actually most of those fairy tales. In fact, I did read somewhere that the original fairy tales, especially the ones by the Brothers Grimm, they were actually meant to be cautionary tales for adults. or even cautionary tales for children, but they were supposed to be cautionary tales. They were not really meant to be, oh, these, you know, these light, fluffy, you know, type of stories and everything. And it said that they were very much inspired by like the Black Forest in Germany. So yeah, there's a whole fascinating history behind that. But yeah, but it was, but you know, it's always fascinating just seeing the origins. But when I was revisiting these stories, I started, you know, just thinking of the song, the riff Snowflakes again. And I just started, you know, just started playing it again. And some of the lyrics just started to come out, and I wanted to kind of tailor them to fit either the Match Girl or the Little Mermaid. Now, I started writing the song, writing like the different lyrics, the different stories within the lyrics to the two different characters. Excuse me. But then I started getting the idea of what if, you know, what if I wrote a kind of like a story about both girls, about both the main characters of the Match Girl and the Little Mermaid, because their stories are pretty similar. And then it's just, and then I've always liked the concept of like a story within a story, which the song Lullaby kind of is. It is kind of like, you know, combining the two together, combining together the Match Girl, combining together the Little Mermaid, and then also, you know, entering in other characters, making it kind of, like I said, a story within a story. And so I just started to go with it. And then as I was playing, the song just started to unfold. And I'm a pretty organic writer when it comes to whether I'm writing songs or whether I am writing, you know, a story. I'm a very organic writer. Like I might have like maybe a small outline written out, but I'm not married to that outline. If the song or the story starts to take another direction, which 9 times out of 10 they do, I will, you know, I'll go with it. You know, it'll just be kind of like a natural flow. But yeah, but that's how that song started to come together. And, you know, with a little bit of tweaking here and there, I finished the song. And also during this time, my friends at Ghost Walk Studios approached me to write a song for their paranormal docudrama called Lily's Cry. And, you know, and so I, you know, as I'm writing this song, I was like, this one might be perfect. So I also submitted it to them, and they also really liked the song too. So, yeah, so, and then like I said, just a little bit of tweaking, and then, recording it. I did record it. It's actually, it's available on Spotify, my Bandcamp. I do have, I think, at least the Spotify link in the description. And I did record that at Starglider Studios. And I liked the way it came out, the way I wanted it to come out, and, you know, be produced, as far as that goes, was, I wanted it to sound almost like a child's lullaby, but with kind of like a dark Celtic, you know, dark Celtic and Nordic, twist to it. And I do think that, you know, we achieved that in the studio there. So, all right. And oh yeah, I performed this song live for the first time a couple weeks ago. It was the very last weekend in August. I performed it at the Bryn Mawr Church. Chuck, you know, one of his shows. I was in the lineup of artists, and yeah, I performed Lullaby for the first time for an audience. It is available on my YouTube channel, the performance, as well as my other platforms. So yeah, but that's the story of Lullaby and how it came to be. And yeah, I'd like to know, like I said, what are some fairy tales or stories that had an impact on you as a kid? And definitely put them in the comments. But all right, I'm gonna have one more swig of tea, and then we are going to get into the song Lullaby. So, all right, without further ado, here's Lullaby, and hope you enjoy it. All right. Tiny footprints in deep snow, little match girl walks alone. Blizzard storm this New Year's night, tears well up in her eyes, freeze her precious face, long for father's embrace. She turns her face toward the sky, falling star burns so bright. No matches she has sold, while she huddles in the cold. She'll be that warmth and light tonight, soaring in a starlit sky. Up above she flies so high. In heaven her fears will fade this night, as she sings the night wind's lullaby. She flies away, flies away. The young siren cries at sea, 1,000 tears are shattered dreams. She watches her ship sail away into the distance. It fades, despair across her face, longing for a love's embrace. She turns her face toward the sky, setting sun burns so bright. Ocean winds begin to blow, she's sunk into the foam. Tonight she'll be part of the light. Tonight, soaring in a starlit sky. Up above she flies so high. In heaven her fears will fade this night. Siren sings the night wind's lullaby, and flies away, flies away. In his house, warm in his bed, tiny child lays his head. Blizzard storm outside this New Year's Eve, as his mind begins to dream. A smile across his angel face, sleep in mother's warm embrace. mother looks out toward the sky as she hears their lullaby. Two young girls have found their home, found warmth inside the cold. Tonight they'll bring joy to a child. Tonight, soaring in a starlit sky, as he dreams he sees them fly. He shall sleep until the morning light, and they'll sing to him sweet lullabies. They fly away and fly away. He'll sleep tight to the morning light. Underneath the starlit sky, they sing the night wind's lullaby and fly away, fly away, fly away. All right, thank you so much. That was Lullaby, and thank you again for joining me for Tea and Fairytales, a living room session. And like I said, I might keep the name, but instead maybe, I don't know, expand it to Tea, History, and Fairy Tales, because some of the songs I do, like I said, especially if they're traditionals, they are inspired by history and are historical in nature. And a lot of what I do is inspired by either history or fantasy stories or fairy tales. So let me know what you think of that title, and cheers to you for joining me this evening. Again, thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope you enjoyed Lullaby. The Spotify link is in the description, and if you'd like to also give a little donation to the live stream, it's always much appreciated. And and if you know somebody who might enjoy this song, definitely point them in this direction. So thank you so much, and cheers to you, and I'll see you in the next live stream. Thank you so much again for joining me. Maybe I'll be with a musician friend the next time. So thanks so much. Cheers. And one last swig of tea. Thank you so much. All right. See ya. Thank you.